very good afternoon to you all. Thank you for watching Uganda Broadcasting Corporation. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold, and I'm going to be giving you today's lunchtime news. So without further ado, let's get straight into the bulletin. The Ministry of Education and Sports, with support from Uganda Business and Technical Examinations Board, has warned technical and vocational education and training institutions that their licenses could be revoked by January 2025 if they fail to meet the standards. During the May-June UBTEB examination results release at Nakawa ICT Hub, the Minister of State for Primary Education, Joyce Moriku Kaduchu, representing Education and Sports Minister Janet Kataha Museveni, stressed the need for strict inspections of TVET facilities. She also directed the Permanent Secretary to the technical team to ensure that all institutions comply with registration licensing requirements.
Uganda Business and Technic Examinations Board, together with the Ministry of Education and Sports, have released the 2024 May-June end of program examinations. The results indicate that out of 1,694 candidates who sat for the examinations, 1,468 acquired full competences. However, results for 34 have been withheld due to alleged examination malpractice. The Executive Secretary, UBTEB, Onesimus Ayesije, says the performance in technical diploma programs was negatively affected by low mastery of engineering mathematics and mechanical engineering science, while those in business by elementary programming.
But the mismatch I meant was that when you look at the overall education training in Uganda and the current unemployment which is available, yes, there could be that there are no many jobs, but also there is mismatch of skills. People finish in terms of in thousands. But if you ask some of them what they can do, nothing.
The Ministry of Education and Sports appreciates stakeholders for adhering to government call for gender equity in TVET access, however expresses disappointment with institutions that shy away from quality reassessment.
Instruct the Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Education and Sports and the responsible technical team to begin inspecting the facilities in TVET training institutions to ensure that all of them adhere to the registration and licensing requirements that is already established by the Ministry of Education and Sports. Within 6 months from today, any training institution that does not comply with this guidance should have the assessment center number withdrawn by UBTEB.
The acting director, TVET, Safina Mosene, requests institutions to ensure that they acquire adequate resources and facilities that enable vocational training.
We have undertaken several initiatives aimed at improving the infrastructure of technical institutions, monitoring the quality of TVET, enhancing the capacity of instructors, streamlining the TVET assessment function, and updating curriculum to align with the current industry standards.
While the chairperson, Education Service Commission, Reverend Professor Dr. Samuel Luboga, decried the understaffing in TVET institutions that is leading to equipment lying idle.
Compared to the amount of investment and the cost of the equipment installed in these institutions, it is not acceptable that they are not staffed to a point where we can get appropriate return on investment.
Meanwhile, UBTEB board has granted last chance to people who trained in the old craft certificate, where the curriculum revision of 2016 phased out the advanced craft certificate, to register for the exams in November 2024, as there will be no other chance. I'm Nafka Farida and Henry Muganga in Kampala.
And furthermore, leaders in Pakwach are urging government to expedite the installation of culverts along Pakwach and Anaka Road, where the banks of the Tangi River have consistently burst every rainy season for the past 4 years. The call comes after 3 days of flooding in the area, which has disrupted travel for motorists on Pakwach Anaka-Karuma route.
Transport along Pakwach-Anaka-Karuma Road remains compromised following a heavy downpour on Saturday, August 10th, 2024, which caused the banks of River Tangi to burst. Many travelers caught in the flood shared their experiences on social media.
Those coming from Kampala, Gulu, wherever they're coming from, you cannot cross the West Nile. It's only those who are from Arua, Congo, wherever they're coming from, going to Kampala, it's very easy for them because they're using this other route of Marshall Falls. Our government, Mutiambe, President of Uganda, the government of Uganda, please.
Border operators working between Noya and Pakwach report significant losses as the flood waters have made it impossible for them to pass.
Actually, automatically I lose money because racing here, you get people that are stopping on the other side, not crossing there. People cannot moving, business cannot doing, so let them just company to do work faster.
According to Pakwach District Chairman Omito Robert Stein, the floods in the area are severely impacting businesses as this road is a crucial gateway to the West Nile sub-region.
This so far is the 4th year that we are suffering from this calamity of floods, and it keeps, each time it comes, it paralyzes business for almost a week or two, because even up to end of this week, the people in Kampala and far end like Koboko, South Sudan, Democratic Republic of Congo are still believing that the roads are impassable. Not until they get a confirmation with a very clear video coverage of the place. And so for us, as West Nile, we incur a lot of losses.
Omito attributes the continuous flooding in the area to the poor construction of the Para Road, which he says has left the water without a clear pathway.
This about 1 kilometer stretch would see a very good water turbulence line created that would not make water stagnate. And then at the end, when the design is completed, we would see that there would be more of a trapezoidal structure which would raise the road in line with the other side from Para. That will allow free flow of what? Of water. And that is where the problem is. Anaka Pakwach Road is now low-lying, and then there is no clear passage of water, the bigger volume of water that comes. So we are likely to invite now Gipira and Labongo to take charge of this. Otherwise,
now residents and business operators who rely on this route are urging the government to expedite the installation of culverts in the flood-prone area. In response, the Deputy Resident District Commissioner of Pakwach, Tribe Achille, assures the public of the government's commitment to addressing the issue as soon as possible.
The whole of this disaster started occurring when that road of Tangi of the park was put. This water was moving freely using that side. Yeah, as the Office of RDC, we're always concerned. Since the whole work is pushing nearer, we're well aware that the whole bridge is going to be fixed.
UBC TV visited the scene and spoke with the Uganda National Roads Authority resident engineer, Engineer Justin Lukala, who explained that preventive measures have been put in place.
From the technical point of view, the team have taken design. We realize there is damp condition created by the railway embankment. The design considers raising the whole of this section, a section of 1.5 kilometers. We are going to raise by more than 2.5 meters high, and we believe that will arrest the situation. The site team have moved, they have opened a number of locations to reduce on the retention time of this flood and also the impact on the existing road. They have installed a number of culvert lines to reduce on the water overtopping the road and also the retention time of the traffic.
Joseph Fodama, UBC News.
Now, the issue of street children evacuated from the streets of Kampala earlier this year remains unresolved and continues to be a driving factor for child trafficking in the Karamoja sub-region. Now, while presenting on the floor of Parliament, Faith Nakut, the woman member of Parliament for Napak district, revealed that 3 hosting schools in the region are overwhelmed by the number of children, making it difficult to manage them. The situation contravenes the guidelines for boarding schools. Now, in response, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, has instructed the Ministry of Education and Sports to provide a statement on the policies guiding boarding schools.
At the end of last year, the government, in preparation for the NAM and the G77 China summits, evacuated street children from the streets of Kampala and relocated them to Karamoja sub-region. Months later, the woman member of Parliament for Napak district, Faith Nakut, reports that this initiative has left the 3 hosting schools in Karamoja overwhelmed with appalling health and living conditions. She is seeking urgent government intervention.
The children don't have the food, they don't have even beddings, the medical condition, the teachers are overwhelmed. They were doing this duty on behalf of government. Now, my district wrote to the Ministry for Karamoja Affairs, to the Ministry for Disaster. There is no response.
Nakut warns that if the situation is not addressed, it could reignite the child trafficking cases that had previously been curtailed.
That if the ed teachers give up, those children could get back to the street. And that is the risk we want to avoid.
In response, the 3rd Deputy Prime Minister, Lukia Nakadama, promised to involve the Office of the Prime Minister to ensure intervention.
I would say that it is bad and it's sad that our children are lacking food right now. But we are going to intervene so that the children can get food and they should be kept in school because we know the consequences of sending back these children.
The situation has also caught the attention of the Ministry of Education and Sports.
But I want to tell this floor, Mr. Speaker, that the government policy is that all our primary schools and secondary schools are day school by policy. However, once for us to have a school to become a boarding section, they must meet with the minimum standard with all the available, whatever we want to make a dormitory to become a school to become a dormitory.
Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, has instructed the Ministry of Education and Sports to provide a comprehensive statement on the policies guiding boarding schools.
When you're making such an important pronouncement, also bring a statement here on the floor so that members can be updated. This issue, I know it's an issue which can raise a lot of debate. Can you bring a statement on your policy for boarding schools?
Lydia Chomkama and Gloria Gutaminji, Parliament.
Now, the Indian community in Uganda has celebrated the 77th Independence Anniversary at the event held at India's High Commission on Chadondo Road, Nakasero. The event featured vibrant cultural displays and a strong sense of unity and was attended by the Indian High Commissioner. He expressed appreciation to the President of Uganda for creating a welcoming environment that promotes foreign investment. Now, as part of the celebrations, the Indian Association of Uganda, in partnership with the Uganda Blood Bank and Plascon Uganda, launched a nationwide campaign.
And we are trying to contribute as a community to our fellow Ugandan brothers and sisters that in this need we are there with you. And to just give you an idea that the blood campaign which was started in 2012 See, up to 2012, starting from 2012 until 2023, the collection was to the tune of 24,000 units. So about 2,000 units a year, averagely. But in the last year, when we started, till now, we have already done almost 7,000 units in 1 year.
You know, the way time runs, we just here, I think it's like a month ago, when he was launching another drive. Now we are back to launch another mega drive, and this is always timely because we are approaching the holiday period. And when the schools are on holiday, because school-going students are our biggest donors, so when they are on holiday, with times we get shortages of blood. So this activity is just in time, and we are very, very grateful that is happening every year. Thank you very much, Indian Association, for your partnership and collaboration. You've supported us, you've given us hampers, you've given us kits to give to our donors in order to appreciate.
Indian community has done very well economically, socially in this country, and I am happy to note that they are equally active in their social responsibility. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank the entire people of Uganda and the government of Uganda, led by His Excellency the President Museveni, that they have molded this country a welcome place for people of foreign origins to come and thrive here. And under this policy that Indian community has benefited, and I am sure that they will continue to do even better work and strive to excel further.
And education stakeholders are expressing concern over the rising number of science teachers applying for early retirement to join private schools. They argue that this trend is driven by the opportunity to receive government pension while also earning higher salaries from private institutions. During the ongoing visit by the Education Policy Review Commission to Rwenzori and Tororo, led by the chair, Honorable Amanya Mushega, stakeholders are urging that the new education policy addresses this issue as it contributes to teacher shortages across the country.
Education stakeholders are raising concerns over the increasing number of science teachers applying for early retirement to join private schools.
But the question is, government enhanced science teachers' salaries recently. Why are they retiring very early?
They argue that this trend is motivated by the opportunity to receive a government pension while simultaneously earning high salaries from private institutions.
Stakeholders we have interacted with, there are loud calls that government should come out with a clear policy on teachers' retirement.
If you have been in service for 10 years effectively, a lady can retire on marriage grounds. Now, at operational level, we are exiting many of these scientists by early retirement.
With early retirement, this is a very, very, very big crisis whereby government allows people, the scheme of service allows workers to retire when they clock 45 years. But it is becoming a major crisis in the country. We have very many people who are retired and they are earning, and they are a big force, and which is a challenge to our country. So what we need really is a definite way. If you are retiring, we should have a proper plan for you. Maybe you don't earn, or you are actually, or you are deleted, or others should actually be retained up to a certain period, maybe 60 years. But otherwise it is becoming a crisis, and the people who retire are too many, and it is a big danger. We are having people whom we are paying as government, and they are not doing anything for us. And to make it worse, immediately they retire. Like these teachers, they go to start teaching in private schools. So they earn from the retirement, at the same time they earn from their profession teaching in private schools.
Additionally, educations also emphasize the need for significant investment in school infrastructure, particularly in science and ICT laboratories.
Let's now take a short commercial break and be back with business. Do stay tuned.
I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day. Yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Uganda, are you ready to kick things up to the next level? The Uganda National Lottery brings you Sports Take 10. Predict the results of 10 football games and win big. With tickets at only 500 shillings, join the fun and make your predictions count with Sports Take 10. Sports Take 10, your ticket to football glory.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Uganda fire! Ediba fire! Border fire! Uganda! Thank you for showing your fire! Has Nambole Stadium opened its doors once again? Fire! While you were moving in wet, you were the 12th player. When Uganda Cranes needed you the most. Fire! Through our famous wins against Tubakunda and our unlucky losses, you stood firm, supporting even louder. Fire, fire. Now, as Uganda Queens take on South Africa and Congo this September, South Sudan in October, and play our second legs against South Africa and Congo in November, bring even more fire! Because with your support, Uganda Queens is unstoppable! Uganda fire! Proudly brought to you by MTN, the #1 supporter of Uganda Cranes. Together, we are unstoppable.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue, the lunchtime edition. We're now taking you to the world of business, where member states in East Africa Power Pool have gathered in Kampala to resolve the outstanding regulations to further regional power trade. The chairperson of the steering committee, Joshua Karamaji, reiterated on the urgent need to invest in regional interconnections and the creation of an independent market committee to realize power business. More details in the story.
The East Africa Power Pool is mandated with the responsibility of fostering optimal development of electricity generation resources in the region, along with interconnectivity between national power systems. The 31st Steering Committee of the Power Pool is focusing on establishing dependable trade conditions, especially with those countries grappling with power deficit, while others have a surplus.
We want to see electrons being traded
We want to see the generation being increased. We want to see the transmission lines crisscrossing the East African countries. And the East African countries we are talking about is not the traditional one.
The committee is tasked to assess and incorporate insights from regional master plan and the national power sector development programs to determine efficient and effective electricity market.
Is that we are working on creating a centralized market, which will be based on what is called the day-ahead market. The idea of a day-ahead market is to create an auction system where countries with surplus of electricity are able to make their offers in terms of the amount of electricity or energy they can sell and the price which they are ready to offer.
Member states are planning to enhance new interconnections supporting the regional electricity transmission grid while expanding different bilateral power trade agreements.
We are strengthening the transmission lines. We are increasing the generation capacity in each country. But Uganda is actually coming on top of generation because we have currently, even Karuma is going to be commissioned. And we need to find where do we sell our electricity.
Reinforcement of the electricity grid of member countries is a requirement. No wonder Uganda Electricity Generation Company has shown interest in joining the East African Power Pool. At this point in time, it's encouraging to see most member countries of the EAPP embarked on reinforcement of national grids.
Currently, the East African Power Pool Secretariat is hosted in Ethiopia, while the regulatory body is hosted in Uganda, and the remaining question is who should host the Trade Unit Office, which will oversee the realization of power trade transactions. Abdul Nasir Lubama and Rogers Komagum for UBC.
And now, in the world of sports, the Sweet Science boxing event returns for the 4th edition this September at YMCA grounds. This event will showcase the top amateur boxers in the region already to prove their mettle in the ring.
Boxing continues to nurture top local and international talent in Uganda. As the sport evolves, Nara Promotions, in partnership with the Uganda Professional Boxing Commission, is preparing to host the 4th edition of the Sweet Science this September.
Since our main mandate is to champion the youth skills and development, that's why we have decided to give back to our own Herbert Matovu to host the event on 7th September here at our basketball court at YMCA Comprehensive Institute. It's not only going to be the venue, we shall also support where need be. We shall mobilize the crowd, the learners to come and support and ensure that he receives and gains his dream of being the champion and the champion and the champion.
This annual event promises an evening of high-octane action, showcasing some of the top boxing talent in the region. 6 local boxers are set for the competition, eager to enhance their rankings and demonstrate their skills in the ring.
I'm the heavyweight champion in Uganda. I'm calling upon every supporter to come and support us on the 7th of September here at YMCA Comprehensive Institute. I'm here to call upon everyone in all your categories, in all your measures, come and support the boxing fraternity. This is boxing, this is Sweet Science Season 4, and we are going to give you the best.
I know this is something very nice, that the Sweet Science, it has been something very nice since day one, so I'm very glad to be part of the process that we are making progress in boxing, especially the profession, and we are ready to perform to our best.
The ring will feature fighters including Herbert Matovu, known as the Black Bomber, Serunko Masabiti, the Peacekeeper, and Onyango Ignatius. Onyango shared his ambitions and mentioned that his training is going well thanks to the support from the Panther.
Very ready and more than ready for the upcoming fight. In that I'm just even from the gym. I normally work 6 hours a day for the fight, so ever since I've been told about the fight, I've been training.
and I promise you a good fight.
The opposition names include Tanzanian Joshua Gihi and others Ronald Doku, Kiberu Basha, Mosens Phili, Herbert Magulula, Daudi Chako and Male Gerard. The event will happen on Saturday, 7th September 2024 at the YMCA grounds in Wandegeya. Gates will open at 4 p.m. Mashamira Victor, UBC News.
And more in sports, following an exciting UEFA Super Cup where Real Madrid defeated Atalanta 2-1, featuring the